Hey guys, Captain Smash, Smash's Strength Lab, down here in Smash's lair. So, today's topic is the ketogenic diet. So, now as many of you know, I don't really like the ketogenic diet all that much, and it's not for the reasons that you may think. So, one of the key reasons why I don't like the ketogenic diet is because it's very restrictive. So, it's it was designed to help kids with epileptic seizures, right, in a clinical setting. It was designed to be about 80% fat, 10% protein, 10% carbs. Now, all this from a clinical standpoint is great because, number one, it helps keep kids safe from seizures, and possibly other people. So there is a benefit for those certain individuals in question. My problem mainly is within the fitness community because basically I view keto as a new version of the Atkins diet. It's just another low carb diet. So, and as many people that know me well, I love low carb diets. They're great. I give them to a lot of different clients to help them lose weight because, overall, controlling your carb intake is very effective for fat loss. Now, what I disagree with is the marketing principles behind it. Rebranding something that's already been done, it always happens in the fitness world. You take what what has fallen out of favor and then put it back into favor, and so it's more nomenclature. I think that I'm really upset with the Atkins diet or the ketogenic diet about. See, I can't even tell the difference anymore. They're both one and the same. I just finished reading this blog post on the differences between the ketogenic diet, and there's some small differences, the Atkins diet had a refeed of carbohydrates in after a certain time period and whatnot, but they all follow the same basic premise: drop your carbs way low in order to help stimulate fat burning process, which is fine. If you're one of those individuals that has a really tough time losing weight, maybe you're a particular body type, maybe you're an endomorph, you have a really tough time dropping the pounds, like you look at a piece of chocolate cake and it immediately goes to your thighs and your waist, hey, no problem. That might be the ideal solution for you. However, for a lot of people, I think they just fall on the bandwagon just because it's new, it's popular, and this is the next best thing. Well, let me tell you what. There's no such thing as the next best diet. Okay, there isn't. There's certain tools that you can use to help lose body fat more effectively, which using a version of a low carb diet that will help you drop weight significantly is a good tool to use. However, you have to think long term. Dan John had a great quote once. What was it? Where was it? It was either in one of his blog posts or one of his books. I can't remember which. I love Dan John. He's a great guy, great coach, and he breaks things down really simply. And he simply says, to the effect that, it's a tool to get where you want to go. It's not necessarily the lifestyle change you need to make it concurrent. And he was referring to the velocity diet. And another takeaway is, how many times do you want to lose the weight? Do you want to lose it once, or do you want to lose it forever? So I know for most people, you'd kind of rather lose it forever, right? But in order to do that, you have to make sure that the diet or nutrition protocol that you're following is going to enable you to lose weight forever, right? So if you can't stick with it forever, it's probably not the right way to go. So, and this is what I try to teach all of my clients is there's no one size fits all program, there's no one size fits all dietary regimen that's going to give you the magic to do that. Unless you really believe in it, unless you follow the path and you can stick with it for the long term. Now, granted, you may not know that you could stick with it for the long term, but ideally, it's all about figuring out what works for you. So if a low carb diet is going to help you get to where you want to go, that's great. Once you're there, then you need to figure out, well, how am I going to stay here, right? This is the big problem for everyone. How am I going to get from point A to point B? And once I'm there, what am I going to do with it? And not quit somewhere in between point A and point B. Is like, okay, well, I've lost 10, 20 pounds, 50 pounds. Oh, but I really miss bread. This is the problem with the ketogenic diet, and maybe I'm picking on the ketogenic diet for bad reasons, but it just seems to be the common flavor of the month. And at the ice cream shoppy, we all tend to want to gravitate towards that, so it's going to give us instant gratification. And the reality is, there's no instant gratification when you're talking in terms of fitness and nutrition. It's a lifelong process of figuring out the patterns and the habits that are going to get you the most bang for your buck and that are going to make you successful. There's not one singular diet that's going to be that effective forever. And this is the problem I see with the ketogenic diet, is the fact that, it's gonna help you lose weight, most likely, if you can stick with it long enough, if you get through the initial phases of the brain fog and trying to get your body adapted to fat. That is totally cool. I'm totally awesome with that. Like, people need to do that. They need to experiment with that. What they need to realize, though, is how long are you going to be able to stick with this? And and now there's different versions of the ketogenic diet. Some of them allow berries, some don't allow berries. Like, the whole thing is this is a rebranded Atkins diet. It's a low carb diet, and it's going to work to a certain extent. But I think the zealots out there that are, and I'm probably going to get flamed big time for this one, is like, the zealots out there are going to say this is the one and only thing that will cause weight loss. And that's complete BS. It's not the one and only thing. There's many different types of diets that you can choose from that will allow you to get from point A to point B, wherever you want to go, however much weight you want to lose, however much fat you want to lose, whatever. So you have to be careful when you're selecting something like this, because this is a very restrictive diet. It's comprised mainly of protein and fats. A large percentage of fats, about 60 to 80% fats. So, out of a 2,000 kilocalorie diet, that's a lot of fat that you're consuming. And we also have to remember that the reason these diets work is because they're all based on reducing your overall amount of kilocalories that you intake. And plus, you should probably do some exercise and some weightlifting just so you can burn off the extra calories that you have. You can still gain weight on any type of diet if you're over consuming on calories. So, and that's one of the reasons why I really like a low carbohydrate diet, because number one, it teaches your body how to burn fat. Number two, it increases your enzyme production for fat production, both in the storage component, but also in the retrieval component. So you have an easier time of transitioning in and out of lipolysis, where you're processing fats all the time. And with the lower amount of carbohydrate consumption, or very nil, your body is not storing insulin, your blood sugars improve, your hormone profile improves. Like, there's a lot of benefits to this. The problem is sustainability. Every time I look at somebody's nutrition program, I go, how long can you keep this up? If you can keep it up forever and you make it a part of your lifestyle, I'm totally cool with it. It's bang on. Go with it. If it's something that, I could stick with it for a little while and then, go back to eating whatever, that's not a good solution for you. Or at least come in with a mindset like, okay, I need to drop 20 pounds rather quickly. I'm going to do this and then try to adapt it to what I'm normally doing. Sure, I'm okay with that too. But thinking that this is the one sole thing that's going to get you the success that you want is incorrect. And for many athletes, this is going to be a problem as well, because athletes need carbs. If you're a high performance athlete, most athletes are going to need some carbohydrates, both to help out with their recovery and with high amounts of power production. Now, most everyday people won't fall into this category. However, a lot of athletes and a lot of CrossFit personnel, people that are doing high glycemic a high amount of glycemic workload workouts are going to need some extra carbs. They're going to need them, and their bodies are going to request them, because you simply can't get the turnover effect. You're not going to be as powerful. You're not going to be able to increase your glycogen stores. You're going to feel flat. You're going to feel lethargic. You're just going to have trouble, right? And there's a reason why athletes today are so much more powerful than they were in the past. It's because we have a large amount of foodstuffs. We have a large amount of foodstuffs to choose from. We can cycle in between carbs, fats, and proteins fairly easily. And your body has that ability too. One of the other benefits of starting on a low-carb diet is if your metabolism is basically been ridden with high doses of insulin throughout a period of time, your body may have like a they call it like metabolic disease, or metabolic shutdown or whatever. But I mean, basically it just means that your insulin levels are either you're cycling too high up in insulin, or your insulin receptors to unlock cells to allow the transfer of glucose in and out of cells are broken. And so by taking away the carbohydrates, you influence the insulin and the insulin receptors and make them more sensitive. And this is a really good reason to put somebody on a low carbohydrate diet, just to kind of get those cells back to functioning normally again. So totally great with that idea. However, if you're an athlete, you already have good insulin management. Your blood sugars are already under control. You're going to do better off on a diet that manipulates all three macronutrients, a little bit of protein, carbs, and fat. So 40, 30, 30. It's the perfect diet for most athletes. You get a good amount of carbs, you get a good amount of fats, and you get a sustained amount of protein to help build muscle. That's it. And I guess my rant on the ketogenic diet is a bit misplaced, just because, I just want people to realize, like, this is not the golden ticket. It's not the end-all be-all. It's a low-carb diet. Call it what it is. You don't have to label it as anything. I mean, it is what it is. It's a low-carb diet. Okay? You're taking away the carbs. You're replacing it with fat. Okay? And that's it. That's all it is. So, let's get rid of all the confusion. This is just a rebranding of Atkins. People are going to argue with me. People are going to be frustrated with me. And you know what? I don't care. This is the exact same stuff. We're arguing minutia. You take away the carbs. You increase the amount of fat. You keep your protein intake the same. You eat your vegetables. Boom. It's a healthy weight loss diet. Awesome. But it has to be situated for that particular person. It's not meant for everyone. And I have no reason, I even have some of my clients on it because it works. It's going to work. The thing I'm going to counsel them on is, okay, once we're to point B, once we're to our goal, where are we going to go from here? Are we going to continue on this path for as long as we can? Or are we going to try to modify it a little bit so it's a little bit more livable? Because I don't know about you, but I like my peanut butter and jam on 2 slices of bread. I like my wine. I like a lot of carbohydrate foods. And I don't have to deprive myself of them for overall long periods. If I have some extra body fat, will I go on a low carb diet? You damn right I will. But I'm not going to give in to the overall marketing strategy. Well, this is the thing for life. It's a strategy. It's a protocol. Reduce your carbs, cut out the carbs, get to where you want to go. Okay, add in a little bit of carbs there. It's you're managing your macros according to what you want to do. If you want to be an athlete and you're already athletic, why do you need to cut the carbs out? You're not going to perform better. You're probably going to perform worse. If you're way overweight and you're looking for a solution, hey, this might be it. This might help correct a lot of your problems. Realize, though, that if you go off of it and you don't have a method to sustain that ability, the pounds are going to pile back on. You can't go back and forth. Think of a lifestyle change. Think of manipulating your macros so that you can still have a glass of wine every once in a while. Or you want to go out and have a cheeseburger. Because the everyday population, you're going to cheat. Everybody cheats. So you need to find a way to build that into your plan. And there's a way. There's always a way. But you have to plan for that. So that's really all I have to say about the ketogenic diet. It's neither bad nor good. It's just how people view it. Stop being zealots over this stuff. It's not a religion. So that's all I have to say on the ketogenic diet. Rebranded Atkins. Can be good, can be bad. How does it fit in your life? Experiment with it. Totally cool with that. It's great for some people. It's horrible for other people. Use your own best judgment. You know if you're going to go on this thing and you're going to cheat on chocolate cake by the weekend. Don't do it. It's not worth your time. All right. Ketogenic SMASH, Ottawa, Ontario. If you like this video, give it a like. If you have something to comment, give me a comment. I love comments. And if you think somebody else might like to see it, give it a share. Check you soon.